Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is KairoS, and welcome to episode 1 of Naval Action Rags to Riches. So this is going to be a little series where I'm going to hopefully help some new players get started in Naval Action, which is a fairly unforgiving MMO, very difficult for new players to sort of get the hang of, and it's one of those games where it punishes people who aren't established yet. Once you're out in the open world, other players will find you and they will gank you, and you will be sad, and you will die a lot. But there are ways to avoid this fate, and there are ways to make money in this game early on without too much risk to yourself. Getting established is the hardest part of this game. It is probably the main reason why the player base is dropping off. It's just so unforgiving in so many ways. But once you get going with this game, it is an incredibly rewarding experience, in my opinion, and this is one of the best games currently on the market. You can find this on Steam. I'm going to leave a link in the description, and I'm hoping that a few people who haven't tried it will at least give it a go. There is talk of it coming to free-to-play, becoming free-to-play. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but the devs have promised that, so hopefully they will deliver. I would recommend, if you do pick this up, don't grab the DLCs. They're very expensive, and until you know that this is the game for you, I recommend you just play vanilla. The only DLCs we have, which I will show you quickly, if we go to redeemables up here, we have the flag DLC, because flags are pretty, and we have, I think that's all we've got actually. I thought we had the skins as well. We've just got the flag DLC for now, so that means we'll be able to change our flag. We are American. We're in the American nation. I will say from the beginning, choose your nation very wisely, because you cannot change it once you're in. If you delete your character, the rewards that you get for completing the tutorials will not be granted again. So that's very important. You have to know what you want to do ahead of everything. So I'll just quickly give you my advice on which nations you should probably think of picking up. If you want to go for PvP, probably your best bet is going to be the Swedes, or I would say the Brits or the Pirates. If you're more of a trader, go for the Dutch. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just certain nations seem to have different cultures, you might say. I like the Americans here because they're going to be, I mean, I like American history, so I'm going to be playing the Americans and showing you guys America. If we look at the map, you will see this enormous map. Which nation you choose will dictate where you start. If you start the Pirate Nation, you'll start down here in Mortimer Town. If you're Spanish, you'll be La Habana. So there's lots of things to consider which nation to choose, but I would recommend America, Pirates, Brits, or probably the Swedes. Right, that would be my sort of recommendation to look at. But choose whatever your heart is in. That's probably for the best. Whatever you feel is your nation, wherever you feel comfortable. If you want to be a pirate, go for pirate. If you want to be a Spaniard, go for the Spaniards. Go start in La Habana. But I'm starting in America, so we're going to be up here in Charlestown now. Obviously, this is going to be a bit of a long introduction. I'm not going to go through the tutorials. If you want to see the tutorials of how they're played, you can play them anytime you want. If you go up here, you'll find them, tutorials. And the game, when you first create a character, will prompt you to do these. I strongly recommend you do all of them, because if you complete them all, you get rewards for that. You will get a free ship note, you will get resources, you will get all kinds of good stuff. And you will get bumped up your rank, so you're high enough rank to use a small 5th rate. So I know there's a lot to take in here, but bear with me. And I will leave a link in the description for a channel, Norseman 55. Norseman 53. It is. If you look up Norseman 53, he's done tutorials on the tutorials, you might say. So he goes through these tutorials with you to show you what's expected of you and how to finish those properly. Because some of these can be a bit challenging, I have to say. And then there's tips to read. When you get in, you'll find these tips. You can read those in your own time. That's all good and ready to go. So when you start, you will be given this here cutter. It's a basic cutter. It's not much to boast about. It's really just a ship you can use to explore around the map. So what we're going to do, I'm going to skip all this tutorial stuff. I'm not going to explain what all of these stats mean. We will learn as we go along. There are other channels that have done that far better than I'm going to be able to do. So we're just going to get straight into this and start thinking about how I would start if I was starting up a career in Naval Action for the first time. So this is the rewards we got for doing all the tutorials and just starting out the game. This is what the game gave us to help us on our way. Do not use these upgrades. Okay, you can sell these upgrades. Your ships are going to be really awful at first. Do not even bother putting these on. Okay, don't waste them. They're worth money. Hold on to them if you want to use them later, or sell them. And don't sell them for less than they're worth. Right? You need to learn how the market works before you start selling stuff. So the best bet for you guys is just to hold on to this stuff until you're ready. Including these books, I would say. Even these books you can sell. And you're better off probably selling them at this point early on than actually holding on to them and using them. But we will need these resources as well. Rum will repair your crew. Hull repairs will repair your hull, obviously, and rig repairs will repair your sails. So we need to hold on to these things particularly. But we've got a note here. This here is the thing I wanted to show you in this first episode particularly. We want to convert this into something, right? This is a ship note for a Cerberus, which you will get if you complete the tutorial, but it is important to know what woods to use for it. So I wanted to have a quick chat with you guys about how the woods work here. So there are all these different woods which have different qualities. There is a website called the NetLiffey map, I think, which you can look up, and I will leave a link to that down in the description as well, which you can use to check all of the stats of these various timbers. But there are a couple of builds that you should be considering. If you want a heavy build for this ship, you will probably want to go with either Locus, and it's very important that you put these in the right order. You want Locus, Sabaku. Okay, and then you're going to click OK, and that will redeem a Locus Sabaku Cerberus. That's the kind of wood you're using for your ship. That's if you want a heavy, slow, tanky ship to start out with. If you want a sort of a medium build, one that's not too slow but also tanky enough to survive a battle, you might want to go Teak Sabaku, or alternatively you could go for Teak White Oak. And if you want a speed build for just zipping around, I would recommend the fastest build you could probably get here is Bermuda Cedar, Bermuda Cedar. Okay, you want just Bermuda Cedar or the whole ship. That's going to be a fast ship that's going to melt when it's shot at with cannon. But it's good for exploring, it's good for taking out trader ships as well, because of course traders don't really fight back. Or you could go Bermuda Cedar Mahogany if you wanted a little bit more armor. Okay, so take that in. Those are the builds I would recommend, but for this ship, starting out, even though we're playing on the PvP server, I'm going to recommend we go for either Locus, Sabaku, like I was saying earlier, or what I'm actually going to do, because it's a slightly more HP build as opposed to armor, I'm actually going to recommend the old school Live Oak and White Oak. So that's what I would recommend you would, when you're a beginner and you don't know what you're doing, that's probably the safest build to go for leveling up your ships. So redeem your Cerberus with Live Oak frame and White Oak planking, which is what we're going to do now. Let's see what we get. Boom. So we should now get a ship. If we go to our Navy here, you can click N for the hotkey there. We now have not just a basic cutter, we now have a Cerberus. Come on, computer, wake up. We have a Cerberus, and there she is. That's our Cerberus, and these are her stats. Let's see if we got anything good. Nope, we did not. You can get bonuses sometimes with these ships as well. Let's have a look at the port bonuses. One hull bonus. Well, at least it got some kind of bonus, but it's not fast or anything like that. So this is not a very good ship. This is a pretty awful ship, to be honest. It could have been better, but it's going to do for what we want, which is essentially hunting for traders. So this is the sort of introductory video. I know this isn't very exciting. This is just explaining how to get started up, how to redeem your Cerberus. But now that she's set up, we've got her. We now have a ship. We can go out into the open world and we can capture trade ships, bring them back to our port and use them to transport goods. And we're going to get into trading. We're going to get into doing missions in the next episode probably. But for now, I will show you how to set up your ship and how I would recommend doing it. Now, what we can do quickly is we can actually go to the shop, Charleston shop, and these are the guns we wanted to use. Okay, so this is a 9-pounder frigate. So what we're going to be looking for, if we go here, you're looking here, your lower deck, you have 26 4 to 9 pounders, or you can use carronades. Now, we're not going to be using carronades right now because they're expensive and it's going to be a while before we can afford those. So we're just going to be grabbing some 9-pounder medium guns, which are the cheapest starting guns you can get. There's nothing particularly wrong with them, but they're not fabulous either. That's their statistics, and we're going to need 26 of them. And you can see they are going to cost money, but we don't really have a choice. We can't take this ship out without guns, so we need 26 of them, and that's going to set us back a total of 4,435 reales. We're going to grab those, and then we want stern chasers as well, which are the guns they stick on the back of the ship, for those who don't know, and we're going to want 4-pounders for those. So we'll go down here, redeem. How many can we carry? Two 4-pounders. And obviously, if we wanted to save money, we could even put smaller guns on there. Then we just click here, and you should have them now in your inventory. Of course, I'm an idiot because they already gave us some 9-pounders with the. So check before you make that mistake. They gave us some free guns, but that's okay. We can use them on other ships. So we've now got 26 9-pounders loaded up, and we've got 2 4-pounders. So we've got all the guns we need. This is where you put upgrades. Obviously, we haven't unlocked any of these knowledge boxes. This is basically how you level up your ship. You unlock these boxes here. But we have no upgrades except for the ones that the game gave us, which are good upgrades. We don't want to be wasting these on a Cerberus. We want to hold on to these redoubtable muskets, sea pistols. We want all these upgrades to be available to us. So we're just going to keep them for now. But what we can do quickly is we can go to upgrades here in the shop. So if you click the shop, you can go to upgrades, and then you'll find, if we're lucky, we might find some upgrades that are on sale for cheap. And no, we have none. We can sell some for nothing. Don't do this. Whatever you do, don't do this. I'll show you how to do contracts later. But don't click this cell here. That'll just essentially destroy your upgrade. But what you do want is to check to see if there are... Sometimes people just put upgrades up for like 1,000 reales just to be nice. And that's really good. That's always worth checking, but nothing happening at Charlestown, it would seem. There's virtually nothing out here for sale. So what we're going to do then is essentially go out into the open world now without any upgrades at all, with just cannons. Oh, we do need to load up our ship with resources. So obviously, as I was saying earlier, you need to repair your vessel with rum, hull repairs and rig repairs. So you want to check here and see how many, not here. Go to your Navy, click N, and then if you hover over this, it will actually tell you per repair cycle you can use 4 hull repairs. So we should probably have at least 3 repair cycles available to us. So if we need to repair, we don't lose our ship. Actually, we're probably better off with 5. Let's do 5. Let's be safe. So we want, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, let's just do 12. We'll just put 12 of each on for now, but why not? Just so we've got those repairs. So if we go to, where am I? Yeah, here we go. We'll need rum as well. So how many crew do we have on a Cerberus? The crew, it's 195. I would probably recommend just 100 rum for the Cerberus. That's probably enough. Even you could probably get away with less, but it's probably worth having some rum on this ship. So then we go to the hold here. Sorry. Put the rum in. This mouse. Put the rum in. So now we've got rum to heal the crew if they get injured. Apparently rum is good for them. They get happy when you give them rum, and that keeps them fighting. And we want 12 of these. And then maybe just 6 of these, I think, actually. No, let's do 9. So that should be enough for... How much was it? Yeah, you need 3 repairs. So that'll give us enough for 3 cycles of repair. So that means now we can, when in battle, we can repair our ship. If we get in trouble, we can pull away from battle, and actually the men will start to repair the ship. And I'll show you how to do that when we get in. But that's how I would set up my Cerberus to start with. Obviously, if you can find some cheap upgrades, going on the in the shop, grab them. But otherwise, there we are. You have your Cerberus ready to go. So I'm going to take her out now, and we will do a very quick battle, which I'll probably clip down a lot so that you don't, so the video doesn't go too long. And I'll show you what a battle looks like in Naval Action. Let's head out, shall we? All right, here we are outside Charleston. We've just left the port, and this is the open world map here. So if you go M, you'll actually see, because we've got the sextant, you'll actually see that's where we are on the map. So you can at least tell where you are location-wise, so that's nice. Now, the most important thing for you new players is, see this capital area symbol here? Stay within that. So just stay within pretty much, if you can see my cursor there, just stay within this harbour here for now with your Cerberus. Don't risk leaving it, because there are players out there, and as long as you stay within the harbour, this capital area, you will not be attacked. They cannot attack you. So we're going to be looking for one of these, a trader brig, but we need to find one that is an American, obviously. So I'm not going to teach you how to sail right now. I'm going to assume you've done the tutorials and you know the basics of moving around the map. On the open world, you don't need to worry about tacking, but you do need to worry about the wind direction. So, and this will always move anti-clockwise. It's just the way the game works. Not very realistic, I know, but it's just the open world. So this is just navigating around the map. Now we're going to be looking for somebody to sink. I know I did promise you guys a battle, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to get one for this episode, because I've actually been waiting for a little while just out the front there before I started recording, and I can't find anything. There's not much happening out here today. We do have a battle we could join if we so desired. Russians versus Americans. So this is possibly players here. This may be Russian players hanging outside the harbour. And we can join if we so chose, but we don't want to do that yet. We're not going to get involved in PvP, really, for this, at least for the first few episodes of this series. The aim is to get established. So, it looks like we might have to wait till next episode for a battle, unless something floats around here soon. We've just got American ships out here. So what I think I'll do is I think I will cut this episode short, because I want to keep them under... I want to keep them all under half an hour for you guys, so that they're not too long. There isn't too much information to take in, and so that I don't have to upload quite so much footage. But I think that'll do for a basic introduction. I need to think of something else to say. Oh yes, I forgot earlier to mention that you have to actually crew your ship. So that's something I did off screen. Just make sure before you leave, make sure your ship is fully crewed. It will be the tricorn hat symbol in the game. But we can worry about that later. Hopefully next episode we'll have some actual action. For now, that should teach you how to set up your Cerberus, and I hope that has been moderately helpful. And the next few episodes we'll slowly cut down on the tutorializing, and we'll get a little bit more action, I hope, for the series. This has been KairoS. Thank you all very much for viewing, and I'll see you all in the next episode.